I would describe Jigsaw as personality profiling. So it's a really great way of understanding what makes you tick, how you like to work, and how you don't like to work as well. So what are the things that you get the most from? Where are your strengths? How do you use those? But it gives you a wider awareness, not only of self, which is great, so you kind of understand, what your preferences are and how you work, but it also gives you that understanding of why other people might see things in a different way from you. So it's started leadership, it's moved into operational training, and that's been done probably for the last at least 3 years now that we've been doing that as part of our operational training. What we've also now widened that out to is using it for a lot for team development as well. So where we're doing things like our leadership program, so we'll have leaders that are coming on that program, they will have a jigsaw and understanding, a part of understanding kind of how personality profiling works. And then the cogs turn for them, and it's like, well, I want to do this for my team. I want my team to know this. So then we end up going and we roll out to the team so that they have an understanding then of where their preferences are. And we're kind of getting to that tipping point within the business, really, where this has become a language and people talk in colours, and it's part of our everyday language, which is great because that's what that tipping point that you need it to get to for it to become part of your ingrained in your culture, really. I think it's simple, it's easy to use, the materials are good quality. We have that connection with Michelle, and that personal touch, I think, as well, which is really important. I think sometimes when you work with really, really big corporate organisations, you can lose that sort of personal touch and contact, really. So I think the advantages of doing Jigsaw are we have that connection with Michelle, we have good quality materials, and it's a simple tool for people to get on board with, understand and use in their day-to-day work, really. I think the biggest asset that any organisation has is their people. And if we have engaged people that are interested in what they do, that care about what they do and feel cared about, then they're going to stay and they're going to do a good job and they're going to be productive. And I think if we understand our people, therefore we understand how to communicate with them, how to manage them, how to get the best out of them. And Jigsaw is one of those tools that can really help you to do that, because it really helps you to understand what makes somebody else tick, and equally for them to understand what makes you tick. That management and an individual relationship works both ways. You've both got to connect to have a good relationship. So I think we've discovered that we will have a whole array of these colour preferences. We'll use different preferences in different ways. We'll dial them up, we'll dial them down. We can all be all four of them, but we just have our distinct preferences that we generally like to use and what that looks like. So I think that's been a real discovery individually, and also, for individuals across the organisation as well. Then what have I learned? I think I've learned that it takes patience, that some people will get this immediately and love it. Most people engage with it initially because it's about them, and everybody always really secretly likes to hear something about themselves. So I think that you get some initial engagement and interest from that piqued interest, but you won't win everybody over. And some people will be skeptical, or what's all this then? And what difference is this going to make? Why should I do this? So I think it's about being patient and persevering with people and layering up, and people seeing for themselves that it can make a difference if they use it. So how does this help us to perform? Again, I think because if we've got good connections and good relationships with people, we therefore have good communication, we therefore have good dialogue. So it means that we can solve problems hopefully quicker, and get to solutions quicker, and have an understanding of each other and how we're going to get there. I just think once you start doing this, once you open this can of worms and you start looking at psychometric tools and you start using things like Jigsaw, you do become a little bit obsessed with it in a good way, because you can really see, you get really passionate about it, and probably bore everybody else to death with it, because you just feel really passionate about, it can make a difference, and you really want people to get it and understand it, and therefore see it making a difference in their teams and their organisations as well.